radio captured, which will hopefully work with a hotkey. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna miss all the wacky little loading screen things. Oh, starting to load. We're now denouncing the monarchists. Purging the syndicalists. Escaping to Africa. Hiding Trotsky. Things are going by fast. And we're stuck. Come on. I think I just saw something in there about restoring the Mongol Empire. And nah, it didn't capture. Why am I not surprised? These hotkeys never work when you want them to. Good, that's up, it's full player. And we're good. Hello, we are playing Hearts of Iron 4 at the Kaiserreich mod. Basically, Germany wins World War I. Kind of passively here, still probably is Flux. I doubt he'll say anything. Unless to be a jerk.
I'm here. I'm playing Divinity.
He's playing as he'd put it, a fun game.
I'm playing as many have put it to fun.
Right,
Silver is too.
I am too poor to Divinity. Okay, so for people who have not played Kaiserreich, this is going to differ in many ways from the base game. The most glaring difference is that as far as policies go, we can't do jack shit until it's time for the election. We're just going to get a series of events every month or two until the election either begins or gets halted. So let's see. So I'm pretty sure it randomizes my start every time because I've never quite had the same setup every time I've tried this. Okay, I got 4 divisions on the mainland. Got my guys down here in Panama. I have 7 factories. Okay, that's better than the 3 factories I started with last time. How about... Okay, we have plenty of civilian factories, but it looks like they're all in use. Yeah, we don't have any actual free factories to build with. Okay, that could be a problem. Alright, we're going to want infantry equipment, artillery, support equipment. Also start building some tanks. So I want to stockpile those. Just train us some cavalry. Call it 5 units. Clock rolling. Yeah, give me all my news events. There we go. Ball is rolling. Things are happening. I should actually train some of those. Ooh. I just got some factories I can work with. Hooray. Alright, we got our first news event. America in 1936. The United States in 1936 stands in crisis. The United States was able to escape the First Weltkrieg, which allowed the prosperity to continue well into the 1920s. However, the victory by the German Empire and the French and later British revolutions would lead to the Wall Street crash of 1925. This sent the United States into the Great Depression and allowed the Berlin stock market to take its place in the world. The election of Herbert Hoover in 1928 showed promise of fixing America. However, Hoover was unable to fix the problems of the Depression. This has fueled the rise of radical parties in America, the Combined Syndicates of America on the far left and the America First Party on the far right. The fact that Hoover won re-election by the House of Representatives in 1932, and the fact that the Great Depression isn't over, means that problems don't look to be going away anytime soon. Many throughout the country fear that disaster will happen should one of the extreme parties come into power, or nothing is done to solve the Depression. God save America. Okay, now that's not going to build factories. I need me some war factories. Tons of them. Mostly here in the middle of the country, where they will be safe from things to come. Ooh, here we go. Profits from legation cities. Following the 1926 German intervention in China and the Treaty of Nanjing, signed in November of that year, foreign trade was left to the richest cities of the coast. Excuse me. Under joint control of world powers owing interest in China, the independence of these consortiums of cities was guaranteed by the major local international powers, such as the Qing Empire, the Algonquin. It's a bunch of random capital letters in the middle of words there. Japan, Australia, Canada, United States, and Germany. Foreign investments in legation cities themselves flourished not only through foreign trade, but also thanks to smuggling into that place with lots of things in their random name and incoming territories. Despite ongoing economic crisis, our investment in legation cities are still bringing us great profit. Right. So we're not completely fucked by the Depression. Our corporate cities in Asia are apparently making us money. Ah, the International Herald Tribune. Newsflash, Mrs. America. The assassination of President Kerensky. Kerensky has just been shot and killed while away at the Senate. Yes, hon? I'll come out later when I'm done streaming. Oh, that's random.
So I'll pick up where he left. The president is dead, and the rabbits have taken over. They've initiated carrot reforms.
That is very random.
And everyone gets a fluffy bunny butt. This has been met with some disagreements in the Senate, but it seems to be passing.
I mean, for the most part, you're not wrong.
Turns out the rabbits really know how to use executive orders.
I mean, basically the president of Democratic Russia is dead, and now Russia's trying to figure out who's going to take his place.
You remember that bit where we said Herbert Hoover was the best hope for America? And yeah, no, we were wrong. It's now President Fluffy Nose.
Only he can bridge the gap between East and West. Truly, he'll make friends with our Asian and near Asian counterparts.
I mean, look at him. Who could say no to his diplomacy?
We're going to want maintenance and logistics companies once those tanks start rolling off the assembly line to actually have the points to put them into a division. I have free dockyards, but I know it's coming, and it's completely useless for me to even try giving resources to building ships right now.
Why not? I'm fairly certain you should stockpile ships.
I'm fairly certain it's not like my coastlines are about to be cut off for me in the next year. He said greatly foreshadowing events, but not really. Oh, newsflash. Edward VIII crowned as King of Britain. George V, the last king of Great Britain and Ireland, to have ruled the home isles themselves, has passed away while in exile in Canada. First Windsor King, his reign shall be remembered with sorrow and sadness, as during its That's weird grammar. As during it, Britain lost both the Wertkrieg and its homeland. The crown was inherited by Edward, Prince of Wales, who now styles himself as Edward VIII. King Edward is a vengeful and ambitious man, and not on good terms with Prime Minister Mackenzie King. He lives on the goal of avenging his father and reconquering the British Isles, and thus is quite popular among the British exiles in Canada, among others. And as may have been picked up on by now, pretty much the first year of this game is random news events that basically telling you, shit's fucked, yo. Alright. Oh good, our stability has increased. That's a new mechanic added by the mod. Black Monday. Who did it hit this time? Ooh, Berlin. On the 3rd of February, 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market panic, selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on Monday morning. It took well into the night for the teleprinters stopped sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analyzed, it was clear that the situation only got worse. The shock of this unprecedented economic catastrophe will no doubt be felt over the entire world. The German Golden Age has ended, for now at least. I've never really looked... The Emirate of Afghanistan has declared war on the Dominion of India, starting the 5th Anglo-Afghani War. After the Wertkrieg, as the British Raj collapsed in turmoil and warfare, the neighboring Kingdom of Afghanistan took advantage of this as an opportunity to seize Peshawar and Quetta, both border regions of the Dominion. However, the Afghani government's attempt to moderate over the last decade have been met with fierce resistance from the conservative elements within the country. King, I'm not going to pronounce that, Khan, now hopes to use the turmoil in Delhi following the death of George V to his advantage. By repeating the success of the 4th Anglo-Afghan War, the king hopes to silence the conservative opposition and bring new lands to the crown. However, international experts do not put many hopes in the tiny mountain nation winning that conflict. I like that the way to close this window is a button that just says, who cares about Afghanistan? Black Monday hits America. All signs that we were going to get over the depression pretty much fucked now because the stock market just crashed again. La Travelière is elected in France. The Commune of France is the world's leading syndicalist nation, united as a federation of city communes and directed by the Comité de Salle Publique, the primary executive. Ever since its inception, however, the Second Commune was not uniform in its policy. Numerous factions arose, each one with their own idea of which path France should take. As the time for revenge against Germany and the World Revolution closes in, the CGT election of 1936 is set to be very important. Poland declares the Republic. Ooh, usually the military takes over Poland when I play. This is new. After several high-profile terror attacks in Poland and the near-total collapse of their economy, a large group of high-ranking Polish officials have released a statement declaring the creation of a new Polish Republic. The declaration was met with immediate declaration of support from many government branches, and it appears that the Republic is taking control of most of the country with almost no bloodshed. Good for them. Ooh, Vice President Curtis recovers.
No, wait, no, we were wrong. There was a lot of bloodshed. They were just hiding it very well.
There's just a lot of propaganda in Poland right now. Let's see, Vice President Curtis, who was set to be the next Republican candidate, has just recovered from a heart attack this morning. The world premieres of the Charlie Chaplin film Modern Times has come out. However, it has been seen as anti-capitalist and anti-Fordist. It has caused the syndicate movement in America to grow. Battle of the Overpass. Detroit, Michigan, the automotive capital of the world. Walter Reuther and Richard Frankenstein, leaders of the United Auto Workers Association, called a general strike against the Ford Motor Company and proclaimed themselves the unionism, not federalism, demanding higher pay and less hours for automotive workers. 2 p.m. today, a photographer from the Detroit Free Press asked to take a photo of the leaders of the UAW standing on the overpass with the Ford sign in the background. While they were opposing, a group of 40 men from the Ford Service Department approached them from behind and began to beat up on them with batons. The group then continued their attack, with some of the beret-wearing women present to pass out leaflets.
They batons?
Yeah, batons, whatever. Look, they got beat up by people from the company. And it's only February. It's only February. I'm gonna head some of this at the pass and just kind of consolidate you guys over here. The 100th anniversary of the Battle of the Alamo. Hooray! Plus 20 political stability. The remilitarization of Valentia. The Treaty of Bucharest in 1918 officially ended the Wertkrieg for Romania, but at a high cost. The nation was now dominated by German and Austrian industries. Valentia was demilitarized and the oil fields were leased to Germany up to the distant year of 2012. The humiliation Romania endured resulted in it devolving into a national populist dictatorship led by the conductor Cornelio Cordero. Cordero and his Iron Guard set out to restore Romania to what they say it should have been, a titan of the Balkans. The first major move conducted by the conductor is the remilitarization of Valentia, a strategic region in Wallachia with large oil reserves and military industry.
Isn't that where Dr. Doom came from? I feel like you should kill the doctor before he...
No, he's from Latvia, which is actually in the north by Poland.
I feel like some villain came from Wallachia.
Wallachia probably sounds familiar because that's where Vlad Tepes was from.
Nah, I think that's wrong.
I'm pretty sure Vlad the Impaler was the leader of Wallachia.
Yeah, sorry, Vlad the Impaler was actually Dr. Doom.
I mean, yeah. Wait, what? I've never seen this before. What? French loyalists restore monarchy. Weren't the communists 5 minutes ago? Like the leader of the communist parties of the world. After a brief French Civil War, the old government of France and its supporters fled to North Africa to escape syndicalist draft. There, the nation eventually devolved into a military junta under the Lion of Verdun, Philippe Pétain. However, a big question arose in this defeated nation. What should its future be? Breaking France is the priority, yes? Retaking, rather. But what should be the government? It appears that the French have answered that question themselves, though, as the national French state has accepted the agreement to restore the monarchy in France. Well... that was unexpected. And I dropped my ring. Oh. Father Charles Coughlin's CBS radio broadcast. 3 years from today, Father Charles Coughlin started doing weekly radio broadcasts in America, and more than 50 million people turn on the radios and listen. He is a raving anti-Semite, claiming that the syndicalist revolution in France was fomented by the Jew, and that the Berlin stock market crash is an international conspiracy of Jewish bankers. Somehow people still tune into his program. His hate speech will not be tolerated by the Church, and the Pope is expected to make a decision whether to ask the United States government to shut down his broadcast so that his hateful message cannot reach the public. Say, we could lose political power and piss off the Italian Federation by letting him keep, or we could lose more political power but make friends with the Italian Federation. I mean, do we need to have friends with the Pope, Flux? What do you think?
I mean, it's the Talent Federation. I think the better question is why we care about the Guidos.
Because the alternative is the Southern Italians who are all communist.
Yeah, screw them.
Oh well, he can keep on the radio then. St. Patrick's Day flood on March 16, 1936. Warmer than usual temperatures led to the melting of large amounts of snow and ice in the upper Allegheny and Monongahela rivers. I've heard of them. Rivers and their tributaries had already been over the banks and were now threatening the city of Pittsburgh. March 17, 1936, the waters reached the flood stage at 25 feet. Overnight, heavy rain caused the water to rise even higher. March 18, the water peaked at about 46 feet, 21 feet above the flood stage. Okay, we don't help the people, we lose political power. We help the people, we gain political power. Seems like a stupidly easy choice. Help people get popularity and get political power. What could possibly go wrong? The first International Congress of the... Yeah, the communists are meeting. Seriously though, where'd that thing I dropped go? Ah, there it is. Alright, the Trade Union of Britain has elected its new chairman. Good for the commies, I guess. Whatever. Indian Citizenship Act of 1936. In order to gain more sympathy from the North and the West, it has been proposed by the Senate and the House that an Indian Citizenship Act be passed, effectively elevating all indigenous peoples of the United States from second-class citizens to full citizenship. Yeah, why not? I'm cool. I'm down with that.
Such a fucked up statement by itself.
Whether or not to allow a bill to allow Native Americans to be citizens.
No, the words, the indigenous people, second-class citizens.
Yeah, I know, right? Ah, the olden days. Oh, hey, look at that. The Treaty of Kabul. Afghanistan and India signed a white peace. I guess that war didn't go anywhere. Consolidate all my plans. Oh, Pope Pius XI died. Time for them to go sit around and make a new pope. The Ma clique declared war on Mongolia. What does Asia look like right now? I'm kind of curious about that. Oh, wow, no, Asia is all kinds of what the fuck. There is no unity in Asia right now. Also, Persia still exists. Oh, I guess that makes sense if World War I ended with the Germans winning. Which, oh yeah, that means the Ottomans still exist. Hey Ottomans, how you doing? Egypt's still free. There's no Ethiopia. Apparently Germany controls Madagascar. A minute. Yeah, Germany owns the southern part of the Suez Canal. Huh. Let's see, the trial of Sacco and Vanzetti. Two immigrants from Italy, Sacco and Vanzetti, have been accused of killing a guard and paymaster of a local bank in Braintree, Massachusetts, a town outside of Boston. The case has quickly become the trial of the century, for Sacco and Vanzetti are anarchists. Unsurprisingly, the CSA has come out strongly in favor of the two men, while the American First Party has come out against them. However the case goes, it looks like it will anger plenty of people.
Find them guilty.
Hi, Carrie. Yeah, I mean, they're anarchists anyway, fuck them. This is the 30s. I can just declare anarchists guilty by reason of anarchists. I should probably figure out how to make Stuart tanks at some point, instead of just using my Lees. That'd be smart. The Arab Congress. Experts believe that Egypt will end up leading the way of the Arab Congress. Alright, so Middle East is trying to uniform itself.
Should be allowed. Should that be allowed?
I mean, why not? Oh, looks like the Greater Italian Union is going to be leading the Communist World Party. He said, chuckling at the thought of such a thing. The Great Heat Wave of 36. Heat wave has struck the continental United States and Canada, the most severe heat waves in the modern history of North America. Great heat wave started in late June and went up over 100 degrees as drought conditions worsened due to continued lack of rain. Now in July, the heat has reached all-time records. In Steele, North Dakota, temperatures have reached 121 degrees Fahrenheit. In Ohio, temperatures have reached 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which was close to tying a record high set in 1934. This comes from a time of major political unrest, with the American First Council, a major force in Midwest politics, and socialist syndicalist mobs and militias gathering arms in the Great Lakes region. The droughts are continuing, and over 3,000 reported deaths have been linked to it. Many people are suffering from heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Farmers across the continent saw their worst harvest on record, causing corn and wheat prices to skyrocket, and this heat wave does not seem to be giving up anytime soon. Siam turns constitutional monarchy. Oh, that's a thing. You know what? We're going to teach the Americans how to fight trench warfare. Let's see, the former leader of the American anarcho-syndicalist movement, Alexander Berkman, is dead. Now John Jack Reed is the one in charge.
I'm back. Have you conquered the world yet?
No, there was a giant heat wave that hit. Apparently, it's about 120 something degrees in Ohio right now.
That sounds correct.
Oh, Gone with the Wind just aired. We got 20 political points as people remember the good old days. Start getting some production increases in technology. Hooray! 4th of July, more political power. I like that just American as fuck holidays give me political power as America. Like, oh, it's the 4th of July, here's 20 political power. I kind of wish that was in the base game. No, Edward VIII is sending a letter to Hoover with rising... Sorry, hon. Rising instability in the U.S., the new king of the British Empire, Edward VIII, decided to send a private letter to President Herbert Hoover. While the media don't know the contents of the letter, it's speculated that the king warned the president that in case of choosing the radicals, Canada and her allies will need to take drastic measures if they don't want to spoil the stability on the Canadian-American border. Yes, because we can totally just influence an election, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see that happening. No.
Oh, it's almost September. Oh, the Great Heat Wave is finally over. Apparently over 5,000 people died. Well, we'll put Field Marshal Omar Bradley in charge of our army. Ah. Oh, remember that point when I said we couldn't possibly influence an election? We can finally influence an election. Day in September. The social and political consensus in American society has broken down, and the current president election campaign is like nothing we have ever seen. The America First Union Party is organizing right-wing militias in the South and the Midwest. Syndicates control the streets of Chicago and Detroit. To avoid a complete breakdown of our society, some of our senior military commanders believe that it may be necessary to suspend the Constitution and cancel the election. We shall invite the military to step in and save the country. The ruling party becomes military junta. Our public elections will not be held. Dwight D. Eisenhower, Philip Lafayette, George M. Humphrey, and J. Edgar Hoover become our cabinet. And we now serve under President MacArthur! The end of American democracy. Surprising news have arrived in the United States of America today. President Herbert Hoover, whose administration has proven to be incapable of stabilizing the divided country and calming down the CSA and AFP militants, has invited General Douglas MacArthur to take the reins of the country with a junta of military men and corporate representatives. President MacArthur is a strong proponent of an iron fist rule and opposes both syndicalism and American pacifism. Large-scale crackdowns on the enemies of America have already been reported.
Nice.
Which means we can now do our national focus. Are we here to be the protector of democracy, or the destroyer of domestic enemies? I mean, they both lead to the same thing, but is there any major... Great Depression is replaced with the worst is over. Efficiency cap, 10, 10, 10. Factories minus 2, 10, 10, 10. Factories minus 20. I believe if I do Protector of Democracy, that actually leads to something else going in my favor. So I'm going to do that. We have average popularity, that's good. Upgrade our tanks. Start researching better ways to make and build things. Alright, we're in November, closing in on when the election would have happened. Which I think is the trigger for what's next.
This is a game that really needs you to know history.
Not really, Gary. This is alternate history mod. Germany won World War I is how this game started. Constitutional ban. MacArthur was prepared for extreme action in dealing with both the America First Party and combined syndicates. He attacked both parties as being prepared to use the election to destroy the American Constitution and thus prepared to pass an act to ban both parties from participating in the election. The act removed both the political parties from being legitimate entities, and any action that they progressed would be seen as an act of treason. And while that's going on, let's go ahead and declare martial law. Because why not?
Are you the baddie, Sovek?
We might be the baddies.
I think you're the baddie.
I think we're the baddies. Because, hang on, these are the three options for how the MacArthur path ends out. We have the American Cincinnatus. General MacArthur has set up a permanent military junta, and the American Caesar. These are my options at the end of this flux, should we win the Civil War that's to come. Days of violence. Days leading up to the election were marred by violence as both the America First and CSA protested their ban from the election. Anarchist groups attacked the government buildings, and American First supporters denounced the election as nothing more than a joke. While Reed and the CSA threatened a general strike if the election did not include them, the America First rallied around Long, who used his position in the Senate to demand his inclusion in the election. The ban stands. Reed declares the workers' state, the rise of the CSA. The combined syndicates of America have seized major cities and declared independence from the United States of America. Disaster has begun. Stand by the Republic. Long declares the United States dead nation, the rise of the AUS. The American Union State has declared independence from the United States. Stand by the Republic. And we have high popularity now. They're gone. Yep, they declare war. Yep. They declare war. Part of the Navy defects. Yeah, both sides got part of the Navy. California leaves the Union. The chaos and anarchy in the East is too much for the people of California. Their governor has declared the state of emergency, has formally declared the independence of the California Republic. Oh no. American Union states secede from the Union. The AUS has broken away from the Union. We need to reconcile the issue with war. Diplomacy. I mean, fuck you, it's war. And fuck you, it's war. North Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, and Louisiana joined the American Union states. Pretty soon. Yeah, here we go. Cuba seizes Guantanamo Naval Base. Volunteers from France have arrived. With national French citizens. California leaves the Union. Hooray, the 1st Bayou Division of French nationals have joined us. We're good to go, boys. We got the Bayou men with us.
Yes.
Alright, first things first. None of the civilian economy crap. We're going with mobilization. Second things first. None of this volunteer-only shit. We're going with extensive conscription. Ain't nobody getting out of this Civil War. Japan seizes Guam. World tension has increased. Second American Civil War has broken out. Monroe Doctrine, we can only protect South America because fuck trying to do that. Territory of Hawaii revolts. New England National Guard joins our side.
Yes.
More National Guard units have risen up to join. Volunteer units have risen. I like the close the window for volunteer units as rise my minions. I like to think that that's actually what MacArthur's doing in his command thing going right now. Alright, some of the Navy went to the Pacific States. War were declared. Canada seizes New England. We have no troops anywhere near there, so fuck it, better than the Reds. Enemies Appalachian bound. Send in the military. Actually, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, you're exiled because Panama just got seized. So let's get you back over here. So now what we're gonna do... Is there a split in half button for troops? I thought there was. Fuck. Post peace to the Pacific States. Canada takes Alaska. Philippines has broken away from America but remained democratic. Ah, damn it, they wanted to declare fucking independence as their price for peace. Nope, we're going to war. Alright, first things first. We're going to let the shit in the east go down because they're going to fight each other over there for a bit. And we're going to retake the fucking Pacifics. So, let's just drive these fuckers back into the sea. Go, go, my amorphous blob. Alright, there's a new pope. Washington has fallen. Denver is now the capital. Canada has sent equipment and volunteers. Sweet. Increase in stability. Bradley, you are going to aggressively pursue that attack order. Just take and take and take until the frickin' Pacific State wannabes can't take it anymore. I swear to God, Mexico, I am watching you. If you try and pull that shit you did last time I played this. Alright, martial law was declared. Now let's work on the American war economy. Let's get ourselves a chief of the army. Put Eisenhower in charge of the army. Haiti declared war on the Dominican Republic, but who cares? India is sending us some planes. Yeah, Canada can have Puerto Rico, we're not using it. God damn you, Mexico. No, you are not having that land. That is American land. I'll fucking fight you over that. Alright, cavalry are now tanks. Egypt wants to send us artillery, I'm cool with that. vulnerability. Good, we've taken Portland, but we don't steal from other Americans. We're going to leave that city intact. Good. Figured out trench warfare. Finally know how to use those shovels we gave everybody. National focus was going to be war rations. United Baltic Duchy declared war on the Kingdom of Estonia. Oh no. And on Latvia. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Really? You have no territory, but you're not really close to surrendering because you still own Sacramento? What's so great about fucking Sacramento? France wants to send us a division to help us out. Hooray.
You're kind of going robo right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Hmm. Robo. Robo. Good, we took Sacramento. Alright, we took San Francisco and LA, which means they should be surrendering any time now. Right. Good, our war rationing is done. Wartime Office of Information. Alright, that's one of the three factions down.
2 to go.
2 to go. Alright. Now, where I believe I've made mistakes in the past is I always tried to hold Washington in a bit of the east. I think that is a bullshit strategy, because I always end up getting sandwiched between both sides. Instead, I've done this time is completely abandon the east in the hopes of making a giant wall and stopping them from pushing west. This will allow me to fight them in a war of attrition.
Sounds good.
Oh, Spanish Civil War broke out. goal is to push right on through here. German Empire declared war on the Commune of France. Oh no. The Second Weltkrieg has begun. Serbia has declared war on Bulgaria. And the Fourth Balkan War is now begun. And I like this button. What's with the Balkans at war all the time? Alright, now that is done, and now that we have our wall, and I know I don't have to worry about it, I can begin moving industry to the west. Let's increase our construction speeds. Alright, and now begins the boring waiting game. Upgrade our war economy to the next highest stage. Let's get some war bonds issued. Egypt is sending volunteers to help us. That's good. Don't know why Egypt cares, but whatever. Alright, looks like we're slowly winning against the American Union states, which is only going to serve to strengthen our efforts against the syndicates as we come up along their southern flank. Syndicalism spreads to Burma. Good, those war bonds have been issued. Set up the Office of Strategic Services. Oh, the Canadian Commonwealth is declaring war on the Union of Britain. How interesting. Alright, try and retake the whole mile. ourselves an ace pilot. That's good. Alright, Army Engineering. Oh, Gandhi has taken political power. We must stop him.
Yes.
I feel like Divinity sometimes does things just to troll me.
Probably.
Like, hey, these guys are torturing a prisoner nearby. He's very weak, but you can interfere and save the prisoner. Oh, by the way, there's an oil barrel right next to the prisoner, and these guys love to use fire attacks. Have fun.
That does sound fun. Reminds me of old times, Flux. Our crazy little explodey buddies. research slot. Hooray, we're learning how computer work.
Yeah.
Soon we can have automated calculations.
You'll be able to computer.
We'll be able to computate. Finally, we'll have a machine that can tell us the estimated time of delivery for pizza. Alright, St. Louis is ours again.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're chugging along in the south now. Alright, we've taken and looted New Orleans.
Oh, looks like the Germans have caused the fall of Paris.
Ah. Nice.
Goddamn commies getting what they deserve. Good old Wilhelm giving no shits about the communists. Alright, closing in on Atlanta. Press to Florida. Taking southern Georgia. Brazil declared war on Brazil.
It was bound to happen.
Alright, we got Atlanta. Federal forces have been pushing towards the American Union State's temporary capital of Atlanta for a while now. Reports are now coming in of Atlanta's capture by advancing U.S. troops. Wong's current whereabouts are unknown, but it is believed that he's rapidly evacuated to the countryside. Reports indicate that military police have begun rounding up Union representatives and Minutemen, and that fires are now spreading unchecked through the city as the federal army is focused on securing the surroundings. Is this the end of the revolutionary uprising in America? Cyprus is having an uprising. We don't care. Alright, looks like the Union changed its capital to Miami.
Oh, I guess we have to take over Miami next.
Oh, we're already pushing south on their own initiative without me giving an order, so I'm just gonna let them keep doing that. Alright, let's invest in the military-industrial complex a bit. The Union of South Africa declared war on the Union of South Africa. Okay.
There's not enough room for two South Africas here.
Thus begun the South African Civil War.
Yes.
The Russian Republic declared war on the Alash Orda. Nice volunteers there, Egypt. Just kind of hanging out down there in the bayou. Not really doing anything, contributing nothing to any of this. Ooh, we have successfully cut Florida off from the rest. Now it's just a matter of driving them down to the sea. The United Provinces of America declared war on Central America. How interesting. Alright, Miami's getting pretty close to getting taken, looks like. I do believe Miami has fallen. They moved their capital to Charlotte. Oh, they surrendered to the syndicates just to avoid surrendering to me, the spiteful bastards.
Hmm.
Alright, let's start a military buildup. Alright, all that's left now is the push northeast. Alright, took back Louisville. economy fully. Commune of France capitulated to Germany. Romania lost their war to Hungary. Interesting. Alright, Chicago's gone down. Let General Motors have our contract for tanks. Alright, looks like they moved their capital to Philadelphia. Russian Republic declared war on the Socialist Republic of Georgia. Socialist Republic of Italy capitulates. Central America has taken. And now the Socialist Republic of Panama has been puppeted. Alright, let's get some loyalty to MacArthur put in.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we got Cleveland. Detroit Falls. Let's give the FBI more power. Alright, we've entered Pennsylvania. We've entered Virginia. Their last two states will fall. Ah, yes, there's Maryland too, but whatever. Army education in school, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, we've taken Washington back. And Baltimore.
Yay!
Oh, Japan has declared war on Russia. Have Philadelphia. The only city they have left is New York. Got Pittsburgh. What better time than just mere days after the 4th of July to end this bloody war?
Yes. There is no better day to end the
Actually, I'll give them credit. They're actually holding out at 98% for a while here.
Did not want to let go, did they?
No, 99. Oh, back down to 98. They are determined. Determined, the last man to hold New York City. Alright, finally! Europe's fallen. The war is over.
Ah, that is good.
Sorry, just trying to get this thing to finish, hon. Alright. Mexico's declaring war, but that's fine, because we finished the Civil War, and what we set out to do is over. Save the game as we end our stream. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good night.